Hi guys, and welcome to Dial It Up, and tonight we are going to be talking about the standard movement power, Mind Control. Now we already did an episode on Mind Control earlier, but it was at a time that I was sick and I had Jason filling in for me, and there's a couple stuff that has changed since then, other things that didn't get brought up, so we're just going to go over it and revisit Mind Control. So starting off with the actual power itself, give this character a close or range combat action, minimum range of 4 that deals no damage. A successful hit target becomes friendly to your force. Each target hit may be assigned one action as a free action, immediately after which the target becomes an opposing character again. Deal this character one unavoidable damage if the successfully hit target's combined point value is 150 points or more. So starting off, it is a close or range combat action. It is not a power action, so anything that is going to stop you from doing either of those types of actions will stop you from doing Mind Control. And the next part that it mentions is that it is an attack that deals no damage. There is actually no way, unless it's a special power or some outside force, to deal damage during Mind Control to the character that you're mind controlling. So a critical hit won't deal damage to the character, and a critical miss won't deal damage to you if you critically miss making the mind control attack. So once you have successfully made the mind control attack, that character now becomes friendly to your force. Now it just acts as if that character was friendly to you. Anything attached to it, any equipment, any resource, anything that it started the game on your opponent's force with, you have no access to. You're just that character, that's all you get. You get access to its powers, you get access to its dial, whatever's showing on its dial. You don't get any bits and bobs added on to that character for the one free action that you give them. You do only get one action. It is considered a free action, but it's also considered any type of action that action would normally be. So if you decide that free action is going to be charged, you get the full amount of charge. So you would get the movement and then the free attack, and then they'd stop being your character. They become opposing as soon as that free action has been done. So if that character happens to have an after actions resolve effect, that's not going to go off because that action has been resolved and all of a sudden they're opposing again. They're no longer friendly to you. You can't activate that part of their power. The other thing on activating their powers is that if they have a once per game power and it has already been used by your opponent, you do not have access to that. This is actually something that got changed within the last year or so through rules clarifications. It used to be that it was once per game per force, but now it's just once per game and that's it. So if it's already been activated, you're SOL. But if it hasn't been activated and you use it, that also means that now your opponent can't use it for the rest of the game. So also, if you're going to be multi-targeting mind controlling, which there are some characters that can multi-target as long as you have more than one target, you can multi-target mind control. It'll go in whatever order that you want. Those characters are considered friendly to you until the free action that you give them has resolved. So if you have two characters, first character attacks, he's now opposing. Second character can attack the original character or do whatever it is that you want to do with them, but they'll only be friendly to each other until the first action resolves, and then the first guy becomes opposing again, even though this is all happening within the same mind control action. Now mentioning that, because it is all part of the mind control bubble, those free actions do have to be given right away. You can't outwit, perplex, anything in between those. It is your mind control attack, free action, mind control ends. Much like charge or running shot or any kind of standard power that allows you to do an extra action inside of that power, it all happens within that bubble. You can't do anything else around that. The final thing in the actual power itself is that if the character or characters that you are mind controlling equal 150 points or more, the character doing mind control, that action, they will take a damage. It is an unavoidable damage. You're not going to get around it. You have to take that damage. This is actually one of the parts of mind control that is very often overlooked, especially since special powers came in. There were a lot of characters that we saw that are very powerful mind control characters in the comics, like, say, Professor X, who just avoid that damage. They don't get dealt that feedback damage. So it kind of just became this thing to just forget about feedback damage. Also, with characters in lower and lower in point value, you don't often see a single character over 150 points that you can successfully mind control. But if you do, then you're going to take that damage no matter what. The other part of mind control that became more prevalent was in the previous set of Modern was friendly mind control. We don't really have too many characters in this current Modern, if any, that can do friendly mind control. Friendly mind control is going to happen pretty much the exact way that opposing mind control would happen. You set up your attack, you compare your attack values versus defense values. When you successfully hit, you get to give that character a free action, and then it completes. The only thing that's going to be different about friendly mind control is that character is going to stay friendly. So if it's next to your character, your own characters, you don't have to break away or anything like that. They're going to stay there. You have full control over it. You have access to anything that was on them. So any resource, any equipment, anything added onto them at Force Construction, you still have access to that because these are your characters. Also, when I mentioned the after action resolve thing, that doesn't work for opposing characters. That will actually work for friendly characters because after action resolve, they're still friendly, so that can still trigger. But, however, you will still have to be aware of the feedback damage that will happen with mind control, even if you're doing friendly mind control, unless the character mind controlling ignores that. The only other thing on here that I didn't mention is that it does have a minimum range of 4. Minimum range is something that I will probably look at in another episode of Dial It Up. But that just means that if your character is showing a 0, anything from 0 to 3 range, for this mind control attack, you do get to use that 4 range instead. If you aren't able to get beyond that 4 range to start off with, you get the minimum range. So hopefully that covers all of the new aspects of mind control and anything that wasn't covered beforehand. But if you guys do have any comments, questions, concerns, just let me know down below, and we'll see you guys next time for another episode of Dada.
Married with Clix is brought to you in part by MajesticCCG.com. Check out the new premium site with MajesticCCG.com/Apex-Insiders. Check the link below. Trust me. Trying to remember that from me talking? Not going to help. You'll get awesome articles at $3 a month, with the first month being free, from amazing writers such as Paris Gordon, Easton Brock, Aaron Cantu. I'm even going to be contributing occasionally. And if you're familiar with the Metal Lab, check out some of Mike Payne's articles. So check it out again, MajesticCCG.com/Apex-Insiders for your look into the minds of some of the greats.